who's going to tell us about how LCR is going to be the first trauma-informed region. Sounds interesting. Welcome to the stage, please.
Thank you. I'm a first timer, and I believe this has been marketed as the Liverpool Fringe. So I'm Kerri Moore, 46, disabled, not that the Department of Work and Pensions would recognise it as that, but I am, hidden disabilities, neurodivergent care leaver, and this is my 5-minute talk. Trauma isn't always visible. It lingers in bodies, affects lives, social, economic outcomes. Tonight I'm going to share about ACEs, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, and how trauma shows up in the body. So this is an ACE pyramid. At the bottom is the ACEs experiences, and what statistics show us is that those who have 4 or more experiences of adverse childhood experiences have significant difficulties in adult life. The statistics show us, doesn't give us much hope, but our life expectancy is reduced by 20 years, and that's because trauma stays in our body. So the statistics, as I've just repeated, so 50% of the adult population are actually care experienced. That suggests that something is amiss when the support when you leave the system isn't available. How trauma shows up? It shows up in multiple ways. As a shared life expectancy is reduced by 20 years, it can show up in losing teeth, disease, cancer, physical pain. Physical pain, trauma impacts every part of the body. I recently had to have a tooth out, and the dentist shared that those who have experienced trauma hold the trauma in the jaw, so we tend to bite down and have that anxiety. The emotional impacts, I think that speaks for itself. When we haven't got psychologically safe people around us, or psychologically safe spaces to talk to, we feel that we are a burden. Often feeling socially isolated in our homes, we cry a lot of tears. The cycle of unmet needs speaks for itself. 50% of the adult population is care experienced. 40% of those who have been in the care system have their own children enter this care system, and 25% become homeless. Mr. Rodhall Street, who is here today, who once was homeless, is supporting one of those statistics. Andrew, who was in the care system, became homeless and has fell to addiction, but is still supported by Ryan. My journey, I was placed in care at 12, rejected by my birth mother and experienced abuse by a stepmother. At 12, I entered into a system that was made to protect me. Unfortunately, it didn't, and I suffered sexual abuse and bullying in the very home that I should have been protected. Additional layers of trauma. Lived experience, so I didn't have the tools to navigate life when I came out the system, and sadly I became a victim to an abusive relationship. Unfortunately, I had 4 beautiful children, but sadly I had to battle many systems that don't understand the impact of domestic abuse. Breaking free is something I've used to depict in pictures, because that is, domestic abuse feels like you need to break free. You are compounded by the emotional abuse and the lies that the perpetrators feed into you. breaking free can feel like a very challenging time. Future vision. So out of my own lived experience, I've developed a visual trauma release programme. I have a faith, and that gives me hope that better days will come. I forgot to share the most important piece, which I should say. I am part of the Liverpool City Region ACES Research Innovation. Professor Rhiannon, who's leading the programme, is in the audience today. And they have a bold aspiration to make Liverpool City Region the first trauma-informed region. Thank you for listening.